Live.
Did you mute my channel there?
Channel 5.
Channel 5.
Yes. We're live.
One more time.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hey, there's the music. That means it's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet here to help you with your pets, like that guy.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I've got 6 layers on, and I'm still freezing my jubblies off.
Someone else who's multi-layered.
Actually, I kind of am. I got thermals on. Hi, Matt Fox.
Yeah. And me, Jamie Flanagan, just wearing a t-shirt.
Just one layer.
Just one.
T-shirt and boxers.
What you see is what you get with Jamie. One layer.
You ooze this much cool, man. You can't hold it down. I have no idea. Pushing our buttons today.
Sam, with one shirt.
The tough young people.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Matt's younger than me.
No, you're younger than I am.
Yeah.
I feel older than you are.
Fair play.
You guys are all old.
All right, Animal Talk. It is America's Pet Show, helping people with their pets. That is our goal, our mission in life. We got a lot of stuff coming up today, Brian.
Has anyone seen my shawl?
We got some animal questions we're going to tackle. We got some leash issues, and we got some fear of training issues. And we have a guest today, and we're gonna dive right into that. We're gonna get.
I heard this guy knows everything about everything as far as pets are concerned. Is that true? I'm gonna find some really obscure animal questions for him.
We do. And today, our guest is Dr. Marty Goldstein. Dr. Marty, welcome to Animal Talk.
You guys are too rowdy for me. I think I'm going to go.
So, Dr. Marty, your deal is you're a little bit into more of the holistic approach to things, right? You're a best-selling author. You had a radio show on Sirius of your own. He worked with Martha Stewart, so he knows where the forks and everything go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he knows.
Oh yeah,
he knows.
Salad fork, dinner fork.
I actually had Martha Stewart and Oprah Winfrey as clients at the same time.
That's rolling.
Yeah, my resume is looking pretty good now.
That is rolling with the big dogs, and like the GameStop stocks.
Oh no,
he's here with us now. There's a parallel there, but he's into understanding the spiritual world and connecting that to your animals, and it's all about health and food. Because we got Dr. Marty, I got to say thank you, because there was this box of joy that came to my house, and it had some wonderful pet treats.
Wait a minute, these are pet treats? I've been eating these for 20 minutes now.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're healthy. You can.
Salmon, it's chicken. It's like, if you look at the ingredients, it's like chicken, and it's like salmon, and it's like. But so we're going to talk about the healthy pet ingredients. We're going to talk about your book, and it's the spirit of animal healing. But before we do that, Dr. Marty, I want to know about you a little bit. Tell us, Marty, what was your very first pet?
Oh, it was a black dog named Poochie.
A black dog named Poochie.
Yeah, black muddy, like a long-haired lab, maybe 35 pounds. And I was a kid and just fell in love with animals. And it's always been to me about the animals. The whole thing, seriously. Oh, I hate that word. When I graduated Cornell in 1973, approximately 1 out of 10 dogs got cancer.
Whoa.
And it was always a disease of the old. So if we saw a young animal with a lump on it, we eliminated the possibility of cancer based solely on age. Now, recent statistics say that 1 out of every 1.61 dogs get cancer, and it's become a prominent disease of the young. And we're talking about 190 million registered dogs and cats in the United States, in families that is about 70% of the families. So we're talking about destroying the level of unconditional love that animals give us by chronic degenerative diseases and cancer. So it's a major, major issue to the human race, what's going on. And that's why I dedicated my life to, this holistic medicine. I was one of the first to come forth with that because I was losing my own health way back in the 70s. And it's just working with nature. It's not me and what I know about animals. How do you heal a cut? Go on Google.
Time.
Right. Nature heals it. And unfortunately, even though I'm still so well versed in medicine, medicine tends to suppress the symptoms or the processes created by nature to get the body better. And the end result of that is not health in our society or in the profession. The answer to that is disease. So this book, The Spirit of Animal Healing, is a wake-up call, because I can't tell you how many people, how many celebrities I've dealt with in my 47-year career where they had to stop working. They couldn't do a film. They couldn't record their music that was on deadline because their dog or a cat was dying of cancer. And it's really bad. So, besides the joy I've gotten working with hundreds of thousands of animals and some of their people that they dragged in, it's really, health is very simplistic. Disease is one of the most complex things. The medical establishment is one of the most complex establishments on this planet. And they're unfortunately, part is a failure, because, when I went to Cornell, I didn't learn much about healthcare. I had a 3-week course on nutrition. Huh. So how's that for a ramble on?
You know what? My new primary care physician, you'd really like her, Dr. Marty. She, I'll ask her about some, inflammation or something like that. And she'll say, you have to drink more water, or, you have to eat some honey. It's like, that's your best advice. But see, this is the stuff that pharmaceutical companies don't make any money on. Yeah. And there's no prescriptions involved. And so relating that back to pets, what do you see as the biggest, especially from a dietary standpoint, the biggest mistake people make, or the misnomers or misunderstanding people have about pet nutrition? Because a dog will eat roadkill, so
yeah.
So what is the secret? And you hear about all these diet supplementation and that sort of thing. What does a typical dog need on a day-to-day basis that they're not getting?
I mean, that's the foundational question of everything I represent. It all starts with food. So the basic structure of the pet food industry has been based around the cereal industry. And most of the real big selling foods that have been on the market, the big bags of food that you get in the biggest aisle in any supermarket is the pet food aisle, from one side to the other. Most of those foods, the majority of those foods, were 50 to 60% or more processed cereal byproducts. And if you look at the label, even though now they'll say number one ingredient is meat, you'll see 4 different grains after that. Corn is the biggie. Show me one tooth in a dog or a cat's mouth that is flat for chewing and grinding cereal. They are carnivores. And the pet food industry has taken the high quality meat out of their diet for generations and decades. And you know what? It's taken its toll big time.
I believe you're right. For anyone, if you've never toured a dog food factory, I've been in the pet industry for a while. Yeah. A dog food factory, it's the most eye-opening experience. First of all, it's gray. This stuff is gray. Yeah. And they truck in these preservatives. Now, keep in mind that a dry dog food that's meat-based can stay in a distributor for 60 days. And then it can be on a truck for another month. Then it sit around for another 90 days or 120 days. Right. How can something be meat-based and be preserved that long at room temperature? And the answer is these carcinogenic preservatives that they use. And someone told me once that all these preservatives cause cancer. Right. Yep. But they just try to time it so that the cancers don't show up until a typical lifespan has been eclipsed.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. I mean, it's so true. And then most pet foods in bags, almost all, are created by what's called the extrusion process, which cooks, even if it's really good ingredients, it's getting cooked 350, 400 degrees. That destroys everything.
Yeah.
all the nutrition, the enzymes, the vitamins, and all of that. So to meet FDA regulations under what's called AFCO, they have to add those things back in, and they're added back in synthetic form. Synthetic vitamins, minerals, and supplements are not healthy. They actually deprive the body. So, you know, one of the big things about this book is trying to get everything back to common sense and nature. Period.
So how is the book set up? Because it looks like there's little chapters that if you have a particular question, you can go to a particular answer in the book. So how is the book set up? Am I right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, here's the scoop. 22 years ago, I wrote a book called The Nature of Animal Healing. I co-wrote it with the cover story writer from Vanity Fair. And it made it a very well-written book. And it's still in the top 10, 15,000 out of 9 million on Amazon after 22 years. And that book was about specific therapies for animals. And it ended with me saying, we'll continue this work, dog by dog, cat by cat, one animal at a time.
Love it.
The spirit of animal healing is now taking my work on a global level. Because the things that I said in the first book, because I went through 40 years of ridicule, condemnation, you want to count the arrow holes in my back? Oh my God. So I voiced my opinion in my first book. Over the last 22 years since I wrote that book, in this book, almost everything I said in that book is now scientifically backed. Wow. So now I don't no longer have to voice my opinion. I'm the spokesperson for real scientific data and common sense to make a global effect on the companion animal kingdom. That's what makes this book different. And it's a trip. I'm telling you, I like this book better, much better than the last one.
So I just flipped the book open to page 41. Jamie, Matt, listen to this.
Yeah.
Before we started learning about the importance of diet for animal health, we fed our dogs Gainsburgers and Top Choice. Consider the chemistry set of 28 ingredients that used to be found in each and every Gainsburger and compare them to the 3 wholesome food ingredients. Listen to this. Soybean meal, high fructose corn syrup, soybean grits, cornmeal germ, meat. So meat's way down there, but what kind of meat? Who knows? Water sufficient for processing, corn syrup, propylene glycol. You know what that is? Antifreeze.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Animal fat preserved with BHA, calcium carbonate, phosphoric acid, vegetable oil preserved with BHA, salt, potassium sorbate.
All that good stuff for young growing bodies.
Sodium carbozymethylcellulose.
Oh, geez.
You know what that is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, please.
That's a thickener. They used to use it to thicken McDonald's shakes.
Oh,
and then there's these vitamins that are added. Now I've seen how they add the vitamins in. So this gray food comes through the processing, and just like Dr. Marty said, everything's been cooked out of it, and then they spray the supplements on top of it with a spray gun, like a paint sprayer. So the supplements are sprayed on top of it. It's horrible. It's awful.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that the ingredients are getting more and more wholesome.
Right.
But this wasn't too long ago where this was in just about every food. Everything that I
I mean, it's really, when I graduated school, we were taught that was the only food to feed. That's all we fed our own pets. And we had a closet a huge storage room in our original hospital. And it was filled with cases and cases and cases of those semi-moist foods. That's all we sold.
Wow.
You wonder why the incidence of cancer alone has quadrupled since I graduated Cornell in 1973. Something's got to be wrong. It's not bad luck.
Right. I'm looking at the bag here. Jamie, you have a bag there as well.
Yeah, I got. I have the. You have one. I have another.
Yeah,
this is the salmon one,
and this is the chicken one.
Yes,
those look like pieces of chicken breast that I would actually cook for.
Yeah, they are.
Over. Read the ingredients, Matt.
It says chicken.
And this
100% chicken.
The ingredient, salmon.
Yeah,
that's where it is. Period.
So
yeah, this. Tell us about the treats, Dr. Marty.
Well, the treats are single ingredient meat-based protein or fish. And, I have a bag of my actual dog food here. What's good about this is that we put this through the freeze drying process.
Mm-hmm.
It loses no nutritional value.
Nice.
It loses all its weight, so it can be shipped anywhere, and it stays on a shelf for 2 years with no problems. And there's 4 different meat proteins, organ meats. Remember, in the wild, animals ate the organs.
Yeah.
And what makes this food better and different than any other raw food on the market is that every single FDA regulation is met without adding anything back in. We selected different foods to meet all the FDA requirements. And I'm getting the biggest joy in my life right now, seriously, because I love animals.
Really?
I have so
Really
many at my house, is the testimonials that I'm getting every single day from people all around the United States thanking me for their companion animals' health. Or I'm getting calls from veterinarians who had non-responsive cases medically, and the people went and bought my food or some of my supplements, and the animal got better. And the vets are calling me saying, "What are you doing?" So it's finally, consciousness of society is finally changing. And then this documentary, the dog doc.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I'm loving that. I'm loving that hoodie, the dog doc.
Yeah, it's a trip. I mean, it was winning awards at film festivals all over the United States. My really dear friend that did the entire movie, her last film called Buck made the short list for the Academy Awards.
Ooh.
So she's the real deal. This movie is the real deal. She filmed me at my clinic for 3 years. 300 hours, and put together this hour and 41-minute movie. And it got rave reviews. Hollywood Reporter, New York Times, New York Post, you name it. So
big opening in the theater for you.
Well, it opened in New York. A little bit about this. It opened in New York. Supermodel Carol Alt came down to be my moderator.
Nice.
On March 13th. It was scheduled 4 days later to do three theaters in LA, and on March 14th, all the theaters shut down from
world
COVID.
shut down. Yeah, March 13th. That was my last day. I teach high school during the week, and that was our last day of school. It was like, all right, we'll see you guys online come Monday, and we finally just got back into the classroom 9 months later.
God, so bad.
It's still not safe, I don't think.
Yeah,
but
Dog Doc. That was 2019 is when that came out.
Yeah. It's actually available Blu-ray and DVD.
Awesome.
And it's just my goal. I mean, you can't make me happier. I have a beautiful wife and 3 beautiful daughters. I have this food out. I got this book out. I haven't been sick in 35, 40 years, but that's not enough for me.
Yep.
My goal, because I love animals so much, and I see not only how much they're suffering by the millions, but I see that it's just a lack of education in proper health care. And it's been so frustrating for me. So that's why I wrote a book like this. That's why I'm on a show with you guys like this, because we all love,
we love our critters, man.
We love our critters.
So your food, where is the food available? Is it online? It's
online. It's called drmartypets.com.
Okay.
And it's actually this company's first. They have 27 different companies that they're actually going into the retail market and going through all the stores around the United States. So I'm sitting back and watching my 47 years of struggle to get this message of healthcare. I'm watching it infiltrate society, and I wake up every morning and go to sleep every night just with this big smile. It's just great.
I love it. So, all right. So, and again, the website on the food, I got a memory of a goldfish.
Eat some of the food, it'll come back.
It will.
Hey, Dr. Marty, one of the things that I saw was that you actually have a sponsorship, and you sponsor the Freedom Service Dogs of America. You have a partnership with them at the same time. Help us understand that a little bit.
Well, I mean, the title alone says it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you look at the bond, and, the reason this book is called The Spirit of Animal Healing is because, and this is the biggie, is that if I were to take an infrared photograph of you and your companion animal,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see two physical bodies. There are at least 50, 55 different perceptions in this universe. Human beings have 5: taste, hearing, smell, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
It is known that companion animals have extra physical senses. Dogs can smell or detect an epileptic seizure up to 24 hours before. When a tsunami hits, the animals are gone right before, but the humans aren't.
Right.
And the book goes through that. Now, health and disease between a human and an animal also coexist on that level, but it's never taught. It's never even considered. And that's where this book goes into big time. And then you look at, the service, the animals, these people that are in service to our country.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we rescue animals and put that human animal bond connection together.
Mm-hmm.
And look what we're doing for these people that need the service of a companion animal. It's just, there are so many different places we could have gone to donate our proceeds to, but this was the best because you can't get better than this.
One of the things I really enjoy about Freedom Service Dogs of America,
Mm-hmm.
they actually work with shelters.
Oh.
With more than anything else. So it really unlocks the shelters itself as to what the dog's potential is to help with the autism, traumatic brain injury, cerebral palsy, spinal cord injuries. There's a mess of things that they do, Freedom Service Dogs of America, and match them with the human at the same time. But they're using the shelters to
love
do
it.
it. So it's
it's a win-win-win situation.
It really is.
Yeah. All right. So Dr. Marty, in the book, available at all online booksellers and local booksellers as well.
Came out on Tuesday.
Hey.
And it's available all over the place. It's already ranked number 1 on Amazon. And it needs to be, not for me, but the message it contains is so vital to who is ever listening out there. How many people don't like animals?
Oh, yeah.
They're not listening to this show. That's for darn sure.
And they are not to be trusted.
No, you got that right. So, I mean, that's more or less what it's all about. And it's just, I ain't stopping. I got another 30, 40 years of me just to keep on getting this message out because it's just, it needs to be.
It'd be great to have you come back on and kind of share with us. And
anytime.
Yeah. I'll,
it's COVID time. I got nothing to do. You want me on tomorrow? I'm here.
Thursday nights, 7:00.
Yeah, just not during Super Bowl. I don't think we'll get viewers during Super Bowl, but after that, you got me.
So Dr. Marty, drmartyspets.com. There's an S on it. drmartyspets.com for the foods and to connect with you and all the things. You did a pretty cool, like a week ago, you did a cool Q&A and a reading of your book ahead of the launch here. Mm-hmm. Are you doing more online stuff now with the lockdown? Are you doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's really good. We're just making it through this disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, just to let you know the significance, I write about therapies in the book. We write about the spiritual connection. We write about pet food. We write about supplements, the need for supplements, the true definition of what a supplement is or should be. Mm-hmm. We write about therapies. I wrote a lot in my first book, but we write about these unique therapies. Mm-hmm. And one of the therapies that I repeated again is the use of high levels of intravenous vitamin C. Huh. I've literally worked on, no exaggeration, maybe 45,000 animals over my career on intravenous vitamin C at very high levels. Do you know right now according to studies out of Shanghai, studies out of the NIH, National Institute of Health, that intravenous vitamin C is probably the most effective therapy against COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they're actually starting to use it in hospitals using 3 grams per person. We were using 1 gram per pound in dogs. So a 60-pound dog was getting up to 60 grams a day. They're using 3 grams in a person, which is so low, and it's still extremely successful. So these are the kind of things that are covered in the book.
Excellent.
Why don't you hear this on national TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. TV makes me sad.
I'm gonna go sit in the sun for a little bit. I'll be back. Vitamin D in me too.
Vitamin D.
Sure.
Yeah,
Dr. Marty, thank you so much. Again, like I said, we'll have you back. We'll do more. We'll hang out, and I'm gonna take these home to my kitty cat Percy. We're gonna try them out, and I'll report back to you and let you know how it goes.
Yeah, Honeypot's gonna enjoy some of these.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, they love these treats. I mean, because this is what they were intended to eat in nature.
Yeah.
All right.
Read the book too, so next time I can quiz you.
For sure. All right, Marty.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, we'll talk to you.
It's a pleasure. You guys are great.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Be well. Dr. Marty. You bit the hand, Marty. You bit the hand. It's a reflex when I say the name Marty. I'm like, it's either that or I'm making a DeLorean joke, or it's you bit the hand, Marty. All right, anyway.
Oh, what a great! I am fascinated by his work. I really am.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just, how 4 decades of a career, and he's not done yet.
Yeah,
so
I love how pure this stuff is. So.
Yeah,
he's really passionate about that. You know, that's people who, that are that passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
They tend to live really long, prosperous, and very happy, fulfilling lives. Yeah. You know, I think of the typical 19-year-old who can hardly get out of bed. They hate everything.
Oh my God!
They're pessimistic about everything.
That's
They're
how
depressed.
I want to be.
Yeah.
Hard to get out of bed.
Not hard to get out of bed. I want to be fulfilled, and I want to be. I want to like
Sam, you got the world ahead of you, man. You got that brass ring right there.
Did you hear Dr. Marty? He's like, I've still got 30, 40 years to go to do this and evangelize.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he loves what he does.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's inspiring.
That's awesome.
It's endearing. Makes him that much more endearing because he's not done yet. Honestly.
I got a question coming in at us hot off the hotline. Coming in. It's kind of delves into what Matthew likes to call the
COVIDian timeline.
And yes, it's I need help. I have a 2-year-old female Chihuahua and a 3-year-old multi-poo.
That's how many poos are there?
Multi-poo. I just recently retired. Once things get better and the virus is got our world back to normal, my wife would like to travel, but she said, I need to train our dogs first. They must be able to walk on a leash. They've never done this, and I'm going to need some help. Is it an easy thing to do? So again, a 2-year-old Chihuahua and a 3-year-old multi-poo.
Now, Jamie, I'm not a cynical person.
Yeah. These are carry dogs.
A cynical person would say, the dog weighs 3 pounds, you idiot. But I wouldn't do that.
But if we were being nice and want to keep listeners, we would say what?
What we would say is,
it weighs 3 pounds.
It's a 3-pound dog, you idiot.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, it's getting a dog to
3
walk.
Pound. That's like generous too. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. With leash training, it's actually pretty simple. What you want to do is it's a pretty simple exercise to teach the dog that wandering away from you put him on a 6-foot leash, let him wander, and then when he gets to the end of the reach of the leash, give him a little tug, Now with
you got to be careful because otherwise you're like Trick Yo-Yo with this dog. It's like rock the cradle, sleeper.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that.
And the infamous walk the dog.
And the infamous walk the dog.
So, so the dog learns that wherever you're going, he's.
So we're at the end of the leash. Then what?
little tug,
okay.
tug,
okay,
and maybe no. You make it kind of snappy.
All right.
And then the dog, any attempt the dog makes to follow you, you praise him. But the bottom line is, where you go, the dog goes. Don't let the dog lead you. So whenever the dog goes out in front of you, turn the other way. Just keep changing direction. Then the dog's gonna have to start paying more attention to where you're going so he can keep up.
I gotta follow that guy with the hot dogs in his pocket.
Yeah.
You said you gotta say no or make a loud sound. Do you want the dog to see that too?
Yeah, no, you don't want him to see it because you want him to associate it with his behavior, not with you. So you if he's out there getting distracted and then he gets that correction, it's going to startle him. When he comes towards you, you praise him, tell him everything's okay. Maybe give him one of those hot dogs that's in your pocket, and go about your business.
I just might be happy to see it too.
Yeah. But changing direction often when the dog gets distracted will teach the dog to pay closer attention.
Good Lord, this digressed quickly.
How many little nips have you had over there, Dean?
See, Marty was talking. Normally, I'm like talking a lot, and but Marty was talking, so I was able to.
Marty was drinking on some red wine.
He
too.
was. Marty had some red wine.
I don't think. I mean, you guys have like 16-ounce glasses of bourbon.
This is my third.
They're just little. Anyway, but so is it? But teaching a dog to walk on a leash, is there a concern, or like teaching a small dog like these? Is there a different challenge, or is it just training a dog?
You're joking, but it is a challenge not to like tug the dog too hard.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you just casually change direction. And a dog will just kind of correct himself. And
a little bit more of a velvet glove on that.
Yeah.
All right.
And with lots of praise in the dog when they follow. And it should be pretty straightforward. It's an easy problem to solve. And dogs love to go on walks. So if you teach them that he's just to follow you, they're happy following you.
Yeah.
They just they just don't know what the rule is. So you just keep showing them over and over that when they go out on their own, they'll tend to get distracted, and then mom or dad is going to go the other direction real quickly, and they better pay attention.
But that consistency,
you got to be consistent. Yeah.
Every time, every single time.
Yeah.
Because if you do it lackadaisically, it's not going to really take.
That's how I got Sam to follow me. Every time she strayed away, I just pull her hair. Like,
see, what I do is I put ham and pineapple pizza in my pockets, and she follows me.
Oh,
pineapple.
Ham and pineapple.
That's your favorite,
pineapple.
Brian, isn't it?
Why do you? Oh yeah, you hate pineapple.
Yeah, Jamie texts. He's like, "Hey, you got some ham and pineapple pizza. Hurry up!" I'm like,
which is why he showed up at like
late.
Yeah,
1 minute to the.
Oops, I guess I missed it.
No, there's still
pepperoni. There's pepperoni and bacon out there too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
No pineapple. On that one?
Bacon and pineapple.
Yeah, we'll do the bacon.
Sam, come on.
Yes,
Pineapple is great
slices.
by itself, or with
With
something
pizza.
else sweet.
Yes.
No, you got to do savory and sweet, or else it's not worth it.
See, there you go. All right, so Brian, your world's colliding here. You are a do-it-yourself.
Who's on the line?
Yeah. You're a do-it-yourself kind of guy.
I think
You're a handy dandy man.
I'm a handy guy.
You're a handy dandy guy, and you're a dog guy and an animal guy.
You know what? The way you're describing me, I guess I'm a Renaissance man.
Pretty much. Yeah. And in one of your earlier incarnations, you were a dog groomer.
Well, I had grooming shops. Yeah,
you had a grooming shop. So know you're knowledgeable about dog grooming.
Yeah.
That is part of your knowledge base.
Sure.
Dog grooming. So here comes a question coming at you. Why is it bad to groom your dog yourself? I'm confused. I'm getting mixed reviews here. I bought some what if someone bought really expensive clippers? And what if they bought the best shampoos they could find? And they have a place in their house that is very comfortable for the dog and for bathing, and everything is set. They could be very well self-taught with books and lots of how-to videos. But yet I hear that trying to groom your dog at home is a very bad idea and an actual horrible idea. All the good groomers in town are booked, and I cannot get into one. And the other ones are sketchy at best. So I want to groom my dog at home, but people that I talk to say it's a very bad idea. So this woman went out and bought good clippers and everything, right?
Yeah.
And she's got like space to do it, and she's willing to do it, and she's been training herself and learning, but she's getting advice that it's a bad idea. So as someone who ran some grooming shops and knows a bit about grooming, can someone learn to do it at home if they buy, and as Colleen says, oh, we can move that in the washing machine, and you can move power lines and gas lines and water lines. We watched this video on YouTube, and I'm like, honey, no, I cannot.
Hey, remember the show Jackass?
Yeah.
Remember when Steve-O got a tattoo when they were off-roading in a Jeep, like down a bumpy road?
Oh my God.
And he got a tattoo while he was, and it came out horrible. It was, and he almost bled to death. But see, when you're what's the bad part of this is if you're not real skilled, you have sharp things, you have scissors, you have clippers, you have. And the dog is jumping around. The dog doesn't want to settle down, and they're not going to cooperate. That's when it can get dangerous because you can cut your dog, you can cut yourself. You can, injuries are pretty prevalent in that. Even for professional groomers. Yeah. So that's why you've probably heard it's not a good idea.
Okay.
Now, if you have a lot of patience, if you have a calm dog, you have good control of your dog, and if you make sure the dog is secured to maybe a door handle or something where you have the leash on the dog so he can't get away. And around and bite you.
Right.
Even if the dog loves you, he can turn around and bite you because he doesn't know what you're doing. So that's the dangerous aspect of it. But if you're patient and you watch some videos and you just kind of educate yourself and go slowly, you could do it yourself. Absolutely.
There was a company that would actually, you could put, use it to put peanut butter in on the wall.
Yeah.
And the dog would lick the peanut butter while you're washing the dog.
Yeah. What was that item called, Jamie?
Do you remember that?
Bath Buddy.
Bath Buddy.
I was going to say my shower buddy.
My shower
Bath
the
buddy.
Bath Buddy.
Buddy.
Bath
Yeah.
Buddy.
And like Matt said, it had suction cups on it, and it had like plastic, had like little teeth on it, so you could put smear the peanut butter.
Yeah,
into
and schmear. You get a little peanut butter schmear going.
And what that does is
Schmear.
that distracts the dog while he's licking the peanut butter off the wall.
I like the schmear.
The schmear. And so you can do some grooming that you need to do on him, but you do have to have a lot of patience. And it wouldn't hurt to maybe volunteer at a grooming shop.
Ooh.
I'm sure you'll find grooming shops are very welcoming to someone who wants to volunteer their time and get some pro tips, from somebody.
That's a really
who does
good
it.
idea.
Yeah. Because it could be because you see them at their worst, So if you can imagine getting a kid hopped up on caffeine and then saying, sit still while I cut your hair.
Right. So I've always had good luck. I'm a cat guy.
Do you bathe your cat?
And yeah, but after I'm licking him for 10 minutes, he usually goes away. He just doesn't.
That's why Jamie's always coughing up hairballs.
No, only if he gets really gets into something greasy, when we're playing in the yard. But we had pine trees and we get sap on them. Sometimes we'll give them a little kitty bath. But generally speaking, you're full of mud. Your stupid idea. Go clean yourself. Now you're locked in the basement till you get it clean.
Patrick Mendez just checked in.
Yeah.
And when he goes to the kitty shelter, he says, I sprinkle catnip on my shoes before I walk into the Monroe Kitty Shelter.
All right, Patrick.
Well,
on your shoes. That's the trick.
That's it.
The shoes.
Got that wrong.
But no, talking about the grooming and my cats, it's like I've been really successful at being able to trim my cat's claws. Some people are not able to do that, and
it takes two for our cat.
Yeah, no, it's just
Jamie, you must have a knack for it. So why don't you tell us how you achieved such prowess?
I play with it. I play with his paws like a lot while we're sitting.
Desensitize him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'll and I'll go, wow, look, darn things need trimming. So, I'll touch his paws frequently while we're sitting around and hanging out, not to the point where it annoys him.
Right.
And I'll extend out his claws. And, once they start getting long, I'll go, okay, now do them with the clippers. Sometimes I get like all 4 feet done. Yeah. Sometimes it's like you get the front 2 done and you're like, oh, well, that's it. Maybe we won't do the back 2.
In Florida, our place in the Keys there, we kayak past this dolphin rehabilitation center.
Great.
And as we watch them training the dolphins, it is fascinating. So what they'll do is they'll get the dolphins to turn around and put their tails up on the dock. Because they give vaccinations in the tails. So they'll do this on a regular basis when they're not giving the animal a shot, just to get them used to it. Just like you said with the cat's paws.
Oh, yeah.
So you're always playing with the cat's paws, and then once in a while you're going to clip the nail. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Now, if the only time you're grabbing your cat's paws is when you're clipping the nails, the cat's going to hate it.
Yeah. Right.
So if you can train them and desensitize them, like Matt said, to that experience, then in fact you could even have like some nail clippers sitting on your coffee table or something. When the cat's there, when you're pet the cat's feet with the nail clippers. So you're not trying to cut the nails. You're just petting them, and then once in a while, clip a little clip where you're not holding them with a death grip. And you're not. You got
a pillowcase with 4 holes cut in it.
Oh my God, that's so smart.
A milk crate.
A milk crate.
That's my favorite story from your grooming shop. I watch the cats. Somebody have to go to Google, search our episodes and find the grooming shop.
You should make a cartoon out of that, like
like the cartoon of me in the cage.
To this day, it's my favorite cartoon, and I've watched a lot of SpongeBob.
Same.
And that's still my favorite cartoon.
I think the one you made. Thank you. I enjoy it immensely.
Me too. I've seen it so many times.
We had a lot of views. They're all Sam. They must be.
I watch it when I'm sad, which is a lot.
More questions. What did we have here? We did the DIY. Puppy, 18-week-old puppy, and it is the sweetest puppy. He's a rescue pup, and he's a mixed breed. Training's been going great. This is the one I kind of teased about. Training's been going great. I've been using positive reinforcement, and I've only had this pup for 3 weeks. He knows how to sit, lay down, up, stand, stay, come, leave it. He's doing really well with all these commands. However, recently, every time we break into a training session, usually like after a good walk or after a play session, Charlie, our dog, becomes very fearful, tail between the legs, walking away, head down, very fearful expressions. I understand that puppies go through 2 fear stages. This might be one of them. However, I'd like some advice on how to navigate this. My puppy is fearful while we're training. I don't want him to lose the skills we've learned so far. What can I do to help out Chuck?
There's always clues. There's always clues. If you can't actually watch somebody work their dog or train their dog, they give you clues. First clue is their dog is already doing a lot of things, right? So this person is doing a lot of training and they're making a lot of progress. But you know what I rarely ever have to tell somebody? Back off. Because the dog doesn't like the training sessions. So it's not a fear stage. You've been reading a little bit about developmental behavior, and that's good. But this isn't a fear stage. If you can associate it with another event, it's that event that's stressing them out. So the training is stressing them out. Even though you're making a lot of progress, you might be a little heavy-handed. So you might want to back off a little bit, make the training sessions more fun, maybe less time, so shorter sessions, because you're making a lot of progress. Your dog's only 18 weeks old, and you got him doing a lot of things, and so don't rush it. You have a lifetime with this dog.
What are some of the things you can make it more engaging for the dog in a short?
Back it up, big fella.
Besides backing up, but in a short period of time to engage that dog.
Quickly. You know what? Whenever here's a good rule of thumb, Matt. Whenever you make progress, you should stop the exercise. So you're stopping at a high note. It could be the very first time you tell your dog sit one time. The dog does it perfectly. Give him a treat and quit. Stop doing that.
Time to watch some SpongeBob.
Time to watch SpongeBob.
That's it.
So so you don't want to keep drilling them, and that's probably some of that's probably going on. So by making it more fun, by and actually, you really want to act excited when the dog does it the first time. Good sit. That's a great sit. And give him a treat, and that way the dog will know that, hey, this is a lot of fun. I get this right, and we have a lot of fun. Break up the session. Play some fetch. A training session shouldn't last more than 20 minutes. But that shouldn't be in a row. You should break it up with, playing and maybe, working your dog during commercials if you're watching a TV show or something. So during a commercial,
it's like talking to your kids. You only do it during commercials.
That's right, and as infrequently as possible.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. So it's like I want to do it perfectly every single time. This isn't a perfect world.
No, it's not a perfect world. It's only a baby. It's 18 weeks.
Yeah.
Cable came out. I didn't talk to him like 5 years.
Best 5 years of my life.
Watching that Cinemax, what wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. If you blink at the same rate that it's flashing, you can kind of see movies.
Squiggle. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's another old guy reference.
That's an old guy reference. Yeah.
Oh, Matt, do you play nice?
I do.
We were sitting here and Dr. Marty was on. We were engaged in a conversation. Yeah. And you were very kind and you refilled my beverage and I appreciate that.
Well, because you put the glass in front of me, so I took that as a hint of.
But you played.
Bitch, fill my glass up.
You were sharing. You shared, and you played. Now you played nice.
Jamie, you're a bit of a tyrant. You snapped your fingers and pointed at your cup.
Yeah, he was off camera too, wasn't he?
I didn't know.
On purpose.
I didn't know such thing.
You're smelling your microphone again.
Because this gift of the bottle was delectable and delightful that someone shared with us. Thank you, Dave Wright, Motor City Hypnotist. Yes. Another wonderful podcast here on the Detroit Podcast Network.
Northville Studios.
How many shows you got running out of this joint now? Man, this is awesome.
710, somewhere around there.
On the regular, yeah.
Ladies with Mimosas kicking off this weekend.
Ladies with Mimosas,
really? Beauty and Cooking with Erica kicked off last weekend. She's a weekend talent or not a weekend talent, she's a weekday talent at 104.3 WOMC. You gotta punch the O.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, they still do it. Because I said that,
good.
And she was like, "Oh, do you still?" They said, "She goes, oh no, they tell us punch that O, punch that O."
And I am a graduate of Specs Howard.
Yeah.
Way back in '94, and she's also an instructor there too.
That's it. Anyway, lots of shows around. But Matt was kind and he was sharing. It was my point. He was playing nice. Mm-hmm. We got this dog owner here that wants to teach a dog how to share toys. Mm-hmm. It doesn't see this trick doesn't seem to be covered in any of the books I have on dogs. Can you help me? I'm trying to socialize my dog, and that's in finger quotes. It's the dog that I walk. Her owners. So I'm not getting the full story, but I'm gonna guess this is a dog walker, and she's like walks this dog. So the dog's owners never socialize her. She doesn't seem to like most other dogs, and I thought I could start socializing her with dogs that she seems to like. Mm-hmm. So if we are out on a walk and she meets a dog that she likes, I ask the owner to set up a play date. So the last few weeks, she's been having play dates with a Chihuahua. And we would go to the Chihuahua's backyard. Over the course of an hour, they might run and chase each other several times. My dog slows down so the Chihuahua can keep up. It's like a good sign. She's being considerate of her playmate. In between the chasing games, they seem to do their own thing, sniffing around or playing with the humans. On the last play date, I brought some toys to the Chihuahua's backyard. They played more intensely with the toys. They ran faster. And running around with the toys, the Chihuahua ran faster with the toys in her mouth, and my dog started growling at the Chihuahua whenever the Chihuahua got close to her toys. Mm-hmm. The interpretation is that she doesn't want to share her toys with her friend.
Yeah.
The Chihuahua's been growling back. They play together excitedly, but my dog is bigger and leads in the chasing games, and I'm afraid she might hurt the Chihuahua because she is bigger. Can I teach these dogs to share their toys?
The question I would have is why? Why?
I don't know.
And there's enough toys for everybody to go around.
But here's what she found a pain point, a problem, right? A problem area. Before that, the dogs were getting along great. They chase each other around. So she's thinking, I want to make it better. I want to introduce toys. Yeah. Sometimes that makes it a lot worse, like introducing a food item or something, and now all of a sudden you have a dog fight on your hands.
Right.
So get rid of the toys. They're already having a good time. You don't have to make it any better for them. You don't have to anthropomorphize and say, well, now they need something else. Now they need easy bake oven. Now they need, internet games.
Do they get territorial with their toys then?
Yeah, they can get real territorial, real greedy, and it's and if there's a size disparity, you could cause a big problem. So you have a big dog and then a little Chihuahua. It could end up being a terrible situation. So don't introduce the toys.
Actually, Erica
there you go.
Yeah, Erica just chimed in. She said, my dog growls at me when my husband is home and I want to give her attention. She says, I think she's broke.
Oh, that's cool. So this is Erica from Beauty and Cooking with Erica.
Okay.
New podcast here on the Podcast
Speak
Detroit
of the devil.
Network and Face Space and all those other things as well. And the other DJ, she DJ'd with me at 96.3, and that's why I know her. Now she jumped ship and she's doing the OMC thing. Whoa, MC. But so she's got a dog.
Yeah.
And the dog growls at her when her husband is home and she wants to give her attention. Wow. You met. Were you there? Because Erica was on Animal Talk before. She brought Claire, that little white fluff.
Yeah, I met that dog. Yeah.
Claire Bear. Yeah. Little Claire Bear.
As the shipping company.
Yeah. So the dog is very much Erica's dog.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me they're pretty inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think she would growl? When the husband's home?
It could be a possessive thing. It could be displaced aggression where the dog is actually growling at her to try to keep her in her place, try to keep her subordinate to her. So you could have a little bit of a situation with a hierarchy issue, especially if they're close.
Oh, okay.
I trained a dog years and years ago.
Don't sass me. Right. I sass you all I want.
This lady had a Cocker Spaniel,
yeah.
And she said, I need to fix this dog. My dog and I are inseparable, and this dog will do anything for me. This dog loves me. But look what he did. She rolled up her shirt sleeve, and the dog attacked her, and she had like 60 stitches in her arm. Ooh. And this dog loves her. But you know what? You know what the owner did with the mistake she made? She got out of line. And the dog felt it was his position to correct her. Dog loves her to death, but he's putting her in her place.
A Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. It's a little bit of cross wiring that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, or maybe enlist the help of a behaviorist or trainer to come over and actually witness what's going on. It could be nothing. Chances are it's nothing, not a big deal. It's just a quirky thing, but it could get out of hand. So. Sometimes dogs will
get possessive a little bit.
Yeah, they get possessive, and then it's like, I need to keep you in line. I need you to keep, make sure you're doing what I want you to do. Because husband comes home,
right?
And maybe she greets her husband, and the dog's like, "Wait, that wasn't part of my plan." So,
right, okay.
You're gonna have to accept my wrath. Because I didn't want you to do that. So it's probably a little bit of a hierarchy issue there. So I would have a trainer take a look at that. But 9 times out of 10, not a big deal.
No,
they'll either grow out of it, or they just, it gets old after a while and they stop.
She's 10. The dog is
10 years old.
Yeah.
She's not going to grow out of it then. And if it's just growling a little bit and it's been doing that for years, what?
Erica and her puppy were together first before hubby came into the picture.
Yeah.
So,
they've been together for 20 years. They just got married.
Well, I just learned something today.
Yeah. Crazy kids been together a long time.
Took them long enough.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush into anything, Jamie. You don't want to rush in.
No, don't do that. You guys should rush over to your emails because
oh no.
Fact or fiction? You decide. Oh, it is time to play a little game we like to call Fact or Fiction. There are 3 headlines. How many headlines, Samantha?
3.
There are 3 headlines ripped from the news. 2 of them are true. 1 completely false. Written by me earlier when I should have been arranging a party with 84 of my friends.
Oh, God.
in France. All right.
Don't say where it is.
In
France.
France.
I'll bet you had to hang plenty of air fresheners in that room.
Oh, my God.
We have a party. It's very, very nice.
We don't have enough time for this.
Damn.
Make sure you use the hand sanitizer on the way out.
mercy sakes. All right. Fact or fiction? 3 headlines. 2 are true. 1 is false. Samantha, and we haven't had this crew together in studio in a long time. Everybody together at once. So I'm so glad everybody's here enjoying pineapple pizza. And now abusing Samantha. 3 headlines.
Like always.
Bride, you got one?
I got one. Ready?
Go for it.
Number 1, boa constrictor stuck in car dashboard, freed unharmed.
All right, headline number 2 coming in. Geese to play a role in Top Gun sequel in a tribute to Goose.
Aw.
Okay, that sounds real.
And then number 3, government backs birth control for squirrels.
Guys, I have a story.
Squirrel. What? Squirrel
later.
Condoms?
No, later.
All right.
Okay.
Squirrel. Okay, number 1, boa constrictor stuck in car dashboard, freed unharmed.
And headline number 2 reads as follow: Geese to play a role in Top Gun sequel in a tribute to Goose.
And number 3, government backs birth control for squirrels.
Okay, I'm gonna say the birth control one's fake.
The birth control one is fake.
Yeah. Is that the real one?
I have no idea.
Oh
come
my
on!
gosh, are you kidding me with that? Yeah, that's
Is it the Top Gun one?
We complicate everything.
The Top Gun one would have been correct as the fake fact.
That
yes.
was I was gonna say, and I was like, nah, no way.
That's believable though.
That is believable.
Wow.
Why wouldn't they do that? But I
Oh.
mean, I guess it's just a random bird in the movie, so why would they?
Brian, tell us about this boa constrictor in a glove.
He doesn't. I don't.
He doesn't have it. All right, you got
I
it.
didn't. I
Okay,
didn't give
listen,
the links to
listen,
the article.
listen.
I got
A
it.
boa constrictor was stuck in the dashboard.
They got it out.
Okay.
They got it up.
What part don't you understand?
And he's
And
unharmed.
it was unharmed.
He was unharmed.
Yeah, I didn't send the links to the stories. I just sent the headlines. It's that's all people really want.
That's okay. We don't have to read the stories.
They just tune in for the
that's exactly
the headlines
how,
and the car crashes.
that's how I read the news in the morning. I read all the
You read
headlines
all
and I'm
the
caught up.
headlines.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it, Matthew? We're already here.
Oh, you
my
get to tell the
goodness.
joke. You get to tell the joke.
Oh no, we
It's
got
time
we got
for-
other ones.
The bad animal joke of the week.
All right, so
Time for the bad animal joke.
I have a theme for our bad animal jokes
Oh,
for
fair
tonight
play.
because
Go
we've
for it.
mentioned it a few times throughout this past hour. So,
All right.
number 1, why couldn't the lizard get a girlfriend?
Because he lived in Lizard Lick. She
Because
thought it
she
was
had-
weird.
Because he had reptile dysfunction.
Oh.
Speaking of old guys,
Oh yeah, because you guys are old.
I was gonna tell you a cow joke. I was gonna tell you a cow joke,
Yeah.
but it's past your bedtime.
Oh
my God. Oof.
These are bad. These are bad.
And the last old guy joke: why does a giraffe have such a long neck?
I don't know. Why does a giraffe have such a long neck?
Because his feet stink.
That's
That's an old guy joke.
Oh
That's
my
an old guy
God.
joke. Yeah, my feet were ripe the other night. I was like, I took my watching TV. I was like,
Was it
what
during the party?
I was
During
like-
the party for 84 people?
During the party of 84 people.
Woo. Why wasn't I invited?
Oh, Sam, tell people stuff.
Oh my God. I'm
Are you out of practice?
concerned. Yeah, I'm concerned. So we are the Animal Talk podcast. Our website, www.animaltalkradio.com. You don't need the www, but I just like to say it. Our social media profiles are all at Animal Talk Radio, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can go on there, find us on there. And then we got our YouTube, Animal Talk TV. And then merch site, wearingfunny.com.
Perfect.
Buy some merch.
There's some fun pet,
Do it.
dog mom, cat mom shirts.
Yeah, masks too.
Cats in wine make the world go around.
Get a mask.
And get a mask.
Animal
Get a
Talk
little-
Radio mask.
That's
yeah.
it. It's all available on the line. Wearingfunny.com. Thank you so much. If you've lived through this, thanks to Dr. Marty and all the swag.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
absolutely.
awesome. I like
Dr. Marty. Thank you for being part of the posse tonight, Dr. Marty. And his website again is simply drmartyspets.com, and that's where you can get his food and his book and more information about all the stuff he does. Animal Talk Radio, that's all about us, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, cool. Erica's like terrible. The bad animal jokes. Terrible.
Terrible.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, what?
Have an exotic week.
Oh, yeah. Kiss your wild thing for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was looking at you. I'm like, what?
I was done. I said, all right, see you next time. I was done. I was waiting for her to hit stop.
Your tagline slipped into the bourbon. It fell right out of the show and into your bourbon glass.
Oh, Christ. All right, bye.
See ya.